This is a Distillery Channel network production, bringing you the distillerychannel.com. Good morning, this is Randy Weckerly coming to you from the distillerychannel.com. A special report this week about the new legislative opportunities in the state of Wisconsin. As many of you know, we are passionately trying to help out the Wisconsin distilleries, wineries, and small craft breweries. And what this means is that these three particular organizations have come under one roof in the Wisconsin Coalition for the Small Craft Industry. This past week, the opportunity was made known that the legislator in the state of Wisconsin had the opportunity to pass in the coming days one piece of legislation that would really help wineries. And that legislation pertains to simply the hours that they're open. Can you imagine that you'd have to close at 9 o'clock if you're a small craft winery in the state of Wisconsin? Well, that's the truth. And what we're trying to do is make the awareness in the state of Wisconsin so that you, as the passionate followers and likers of these small craft wineries, breweries, and distilleries, will call your legislator and say, hey, that just isn't right. So if you could take a look at this particular short piece, yesterday I visited with Alwyn Fitzgerald of Fisher King Winery in Verona, Wisconsin, who's a small craft owner in the winery industry, and he is also the president of the Wisconsin Winery Association. So listen close, and at the end of this segment, if you could, contact your legislator or contact Fitz for more information. Contact myself at thedistillerychannel.com. We're here to support and grow, and everybody out there, remember to sip responsibly, but enjoy the beautiful Wisconsin tapestry this fall. Today at the Fisher King Winery with Alwyn Fitzgerald.
Nice to see you again.
Owner and proprietor of a beautiful establishment, which we've taken some other pictures of today.
Yep.
Learned a lot about your facility. As I said after you were on the show, we tested your wine.
Okay. That's good.
Totally approved by everybody in my family and my company, to the point where I have to replace it at the end of the day. So okay. That's truth. Anyway, I wanted to have just a few updates what's going on in your winery, and also as the president of the Wisconsin Winery Association, there's been some impactful updates that could be coming toward your industry. So yeah. Anyway, what's happened?
On the legislative side?
On the legislative side,
well,
yeah.
We've made some very clear progress, particularly the winery industry in Wisconsin. We have been working so hard for several years to try to get wineries to have extended hours beyond 9 p.m. And just to refresh your memory, although I know your memory's pretty good, at least when you don't have too many glasses of wine.
There you
right?
go. That was them. That was then, this is now.
So wineries are the only alcohol beverage segment in our state that is obligated to close our doors at 9 p.m. And that really has been very, very hurtful to our industry.
Right.
I mean, breweries, brew pubs, distilleries, bars, supper clubs, restaurants, all of those, anyone that serves alcoholic beverages can stay open quite a bit later.
Right.
But wineries are the only segment left over from old post-prohibition laws and the efforts over the last several decades of lobbyist groups that have kept us, for whatever crazy reason, to the point that we have to close at 9. And that, for many wineries, if you tell somebody you want to host their wedding event or some other event on a Saturday night, but everyone has to be out by 9, that's a deal killer.
Well, that's what we said on the show.
Yeah.
We talked about going to a Badger game, and let's say it's a night game, we get out at 10 o'clock or 9:30, and they say, let's go to the winery. Oh, wait a minute, it's closed.
Yeah, well, on Friday nights...
It makes no sense.
Yeah, on Friday nights we have live music here, often on other weekend nights as well. but we start the music at 6:30 and have to end it at 8:30 so we can get everyone out the door. On a Friday night, even if people want to come out and enjoy the music, some people aren't even getting home till 7 o'clock.
Right.
So it's been very, very problematic for all of us wineries. And we had a bill that was created that was authored in the Senate. Yeah, it had sponsors, co-sponsors, supporters. It went to committee, and just about a week ago, the committee passed it out of committee with an approval of 7-0. So it was a unanimous vote to bring it to the floor of our Wisconsin State Senate for debate and a vote. And it was actually more like 2 weeks ago now that I think about it, and now it is completely stalled. It's stalled because of Senate leadership. It's just sitting there, and we need people to reach out to their senators and to the folks that are in the Senate that they have a relationship with or don't or represent them, and say, could you please bring this bill to the floor for a vote? If we could pass it in the Senate, we feel there's a very high probability that we could pass it if it would get to the floor. We're running out of daylight. There's only so many more legislative days left. It still would have to go to the Assembly after that. So, it's amazing how things can get bogged down and stalled by the, machinations and manipulations of special interests and some politicians that they just don't want to lift a finger to help the wineries of Wisconsin.
And it impacts the economy of Wisconsin, because I think you said that for every dollar that comes in here, it's like $2.50 into the economy.
The local economy.
Proven fact.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Tourism dollars and just regular multiplier effect of dollars. So anyways, it's very difficult. There are a lot of wineries that are struggling. They need the retail sales. They have to support the huge production costs that they have. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart to open a winery. It takes a lot of capital. It gets tied up for quite some time. The only way wineries can survive is having robust retail sales. And this is really killing us.
Well, what we're trying to do at the distillerychannel.com and through our show, Distilleries, Breweries, and Wineries of the World, basically develop a platform, a voice, where you can tell the story. So we did the inventory just on the Winery Association alone, is that if we can get this story out, and then the other wineries alone could sit and take the link that we'll have from this and put it on their Facebook, is that the followers that they have, and that number is staggering. That number is staggering followers. 800, we did the inventory. Your wineries and your association, we added up all the followers, not likes, the followers. And those are people that open up the Facebook pages and they say, what's going on in Fisher King Friday night? They want to know. They're your passionate followers. 893,000 in the state of Wisconsin. So if we could just get to 1/10 of them, 5%, it would be amazing to have them go back to the politicians and say, hey, we want to support our local winery.
We need our industry to flourish, not be hindered and people going out of business as a result of poor legislation. That number does not surprise me. Not only are winemakers passionate about making wine in this state, but there's a large population of people who are absolutely enthusiastic about their local wineries and the wine industry.
Without question. That's what I'm saying, is that we know they look. We've been out, we've visited nationally with over 500 wineries, breweries, distilleries, and such. One thing we found out, if you say that somebody says that they're a patron of Fisher King Winery, they're passionate about it. They want to come here. You have easy access to get here, but that goes through the industry. So we hope to develop the help to tell this story and follow legislation, and hopefully there'll be good news ahead very quickly.
Sounds great.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. You're a great leader for the organization. And
thank you.
I hope everybody comes out to Fisher King Winery. You can stay till 9 o'clock this weekend, but hopefully in the future, beyond that. All right. Thanks a lot, Fitz.
Thanks, Randy.
Beautiful place.
I'm glad you came out to visit.
And buy some wine.
And buy some wine too while you're here.
All righty.